With dozens of buildings now reduced to rubble and thousands left to, without homes, I want to bring in Eugene Zapata-Garesché, a former Mexican government official and urban expert at 100 Resilient Cities, an organization that works with cities on their infrastructure. Eugene, thank you for being with us. Let's just discuss Mexico City. The population is actually bigger than New York's population. It is the most populous city on the continent. We think of it as a city. We see the buildings in the city, but it's a vast, I don't even know what you call Mexico City. Some of it is urbanized and built the way we would think of New York or other places, and some of it is not. Some of it is not the best infrastructure.
Yes, thank you, Ali. Mexico City is one of the biggest megalopolis in the world, and in the metropolitan area, you have more than 20 million people. The city center, the historical center, has been there for millennia, as you know. And it's actually a big city and a very diverse city that is not only urbanized. Most people don't know that half of its territory, or 40% approximately of its territory, is still rural.
Right.
But it's a very concentrated urban megalopolis. So you have buildings from all sizes and all ages. And what we're seeing today is that some of the buildings that were built before the building codes were changed and before the experience of the 1985 earthquake are not standing. But there's others who were either retrofitted or the new ones that were built that have stood for both of the earthquakes that we
and they were likely the same ones that will have withstood this earthquake. Does Mexico City and does Mexico as a country, do they have the resources necessary to undertake this rescue that we're seeing right now, to get everybody saved, get power back, and get back into recovery?
I think that what we're witnessing here, it's an amazing effort by all the different stakeholders that are involved in such a big disaster. We have seen how the city government has been working for at least 3 decades in preparing itself and its protocols to face a catastrophe like this one, but also how the society, how population have come together and holding hands and doing a big effort to be next to the authorities. There's also a lot of support from around the world. Just yesterday, the amount of signs and signals of solidarity that came from around the world was amazing, and there's help coming from everywhere. So I would say that Mexico City, yes, it's much better prepared today than it was 30 years ago to face this disaster, but any help, of course, in the face of this moment would be welcome.
Do you think we've seen the worst of it, or is this going to get a lot worse?
That's a good question. I think that this is developing as we speak. Yeah. I mean, we just saw what is happening in this school, which is terrifying.
It's devastating.
But we should also think that an earthquake in a city like Mexico is something that will happen again and again because of its location and because of the way nature is organized. So what we will see is more of this. And I think that this is an opportunity for a city to learn from its lessons and become a more resilient city.
Right. Right, and let's hope that Mexico is able to garner the resources necessary to, again, build more buildings now that will withstand an earthquake like this in the future. Eugene, thank you so much for being with us.
You're welcome, Ali.
Eugene Zapata-Garesché is a former Mexican government official and urban expert at 100 Resilient Cities.